Alright, and we are back in again, guys. Super sorry about that. As you all know, internet can sometimes be a struggle with these online things, but I think I've worked out the kinks. 5 minutes left in this qualifying session. A few new arrivals, including Yori, Peter Hank, and PSV Ty. So good to see those guys in here. And it looks like this is really great to see. Our top 6 are only separated by about half a second. So you can expect a pretty competitive race here, I think. Which you always like to see. I know in F1 it is always a struggle. It is always a struggle to have competitive races. You see teams like Mercedes and those guys kind of run away with it sometimes, but that is not a problem here at VRL, as it looks like our top guys are going to be pretty darn competitive. I think that lap from SMA was a throwaway lap the first time, though it does look like he's run wide here. He is on his out lap now. He was about 8 seconds back in Milan. So I do think that was just a bit of a throwaway lap, as we have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 drivers on their out laps currently. First of which I believe is MK178. Yes, it is. As he heads through Vale and now Club Corner onto the start-finish straight. A ridiculously short start-finish straight here. It makes for some weird starts off the grid because there's such a short run. Through Sector 1 he goes. Down towards the village section. Through Farm now, and out onto the first straight of the Wellington straight. Again, fairly short straight. There's no big long straights. I guess the Hangar straight could be considered a long straight. But other than that, it's just a lot of high-speed corners. As he goes, looks like he goes purple through the first sector, so really promising pace here for MK. Maybe track evolution playing a role. As he heads through Luffield and Woodcut, onto the back straight, down through Cops, now through the high-speed corners of Magus and Beckett's. Now through Chapel, out onto the Wellington straight he goes. Oh no! Having trouble negotiating Maggots and Beckett's, and it looks like this lap will be a throwaway lap for MK. Our top 4 are all in the pits here, which is interesting. I think they're just gonna have one more run at it, as we're gonna ride along with Wakanda now. Yellow flags off of, looks like, Vale and Maggots and Beckett's, so it looks like there's an alpha off at Vale, or Maggots and Beckett's rather. I think he's just lagged out, but it's always unfortunate to see you guys crash out like that. We have a pole prediction, hot lap mode, the big boss. Bossman says Karem will get pole. As of now he's in 4th place, but only about 3/10 back of Nick. Position, and in Wakanda raring, fantastic lap of 124.2. These are all really competitive lap times. We even hold up on the leaderboard, I think. So this is great stuff here. Looks like Yoda speak was that Alpha off at Maggots, but I think he has DNF'd here due to that incident. As a Ferrari goes out, I believe, if we look here, oh, why my track map is so bad. That is, who is that just came out of the pits? That's interesting. Yeah, it looks like a tight qualifying session, even back to Alex in P8. It's only about a second back, so not terrible. Here's Xavi in this Williams machine on his out lap. And it looks like all the cars will be making all the cars will be making their way out from the pit lane for their final lap of qualifying. Try to get any improvement. And it looks like a Mercedes going slowly. That is, I believe, Ave through the third section. Maybe just trying to get a better run for his final qualifying lap, as we see him trying to warm up his tires here. And I think it looks like he will, unless... Yeah, I think he is the first one to set a lap here. Will be his final lap of this session as he heads through the village section, sector 1, this big double left-hander out onto the Wellington straight. DRS wide open for him here. Let's get some telemetry actually, so we can see what he's seeing. DRS pumping fast down through the gears, right down into 4th gear. I think that yellow flag is just due to a car going slowly to get the best run for their final qualifying session. And I don't know what happened to Wakanda. Maybe he decided that lap was going to be enough. I don't know. Let's go back to Ave here. Heads through Magnussen Beckett's. It does look like he's going to have traffic ahead. And oh no, a big off for Ave through Magnussen Beckett's. And that will be as far as he goes in the order. P14. Really unfortunate. Big crash there. Magnussen Beckett's in this game, even for me personally, it's a tough corner to navigate because you're running a low downforce setup to get the most out of these high-speed corners, but you're just seeing a little bit more wings through that section as Pepin begins his lap here. He has the Mercedes of Alex Momberg in front of him. We have a yellow flag in sector 2. Again, I believe that is just due to cars going slow. Qualifying has finished, so these will be the car's last laps. The two Haas's of Enosia and Batboy are both going slow. I guess the two teammates not wanting to crash anyone out. But it does look like those guys have decided that their laps are enough. As MK sends a 124.3, Karem with a 124.6, so the prediction for pole not paying off for Karem. P6 is still fine, only about half a second, and now 4/10 back. As Nick snags pole position as of now, provisional pole. I don't really know who else is gonna challenge for that. MK has already crossed the line. The two Haas's have decided that their laps are enough. And looking at it now, it looks like Nick is going to have pole position. As we ride along on the back left tire of Stein here. Yeah, he's just on the in-lap. This is his CPU controlling this. Alex Bomberg crosses the line with 124.9. Good enough for 8th place for Alex. As we head down the grid from... Oh, looks like he has just been jumped. Was that? That was the AlphaTauri of Yori, I believe. A 124.6. Look at all these times. Enosia, Batboy, and Yori only separated by about 6/100ths of a second. Really exciting stuff. And that's promising for the race. Alex fraud. Nodic says Alex is a fraud. I don't know. Top 10 qualifying for Alex here. And I think that everyone has had a run here. So we do have to wait for the session timer to expire, which is a bit frustrating. But it does give us time to analyze this qualifying session. Nick almost breaking into the 123s. That would have been a ridiculous qualifying lap. From Nick, it's Wakanda raring. I don't know if that's supposed to be raring or racing. We'll just call him Wakanda. Now MK and Ozzy in 4th, Batboy in 5th, so the two Haas's. Probably pretty happy with that. Yori in 6th, Karem in 7th, Javi in 8th, Alex Bomberg and Stein round out your top 10, and then 11th. In real life would have been best of the rest. The last one knocked down Q2 is Yoda, then Pepin, SMA, Milan, and then your bottom 3 are Ave, Hank, and PSV. I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but Nick is doing a great job getting pole. Yeah, that's a great result for Nick, especially coming up from F3. Seeing him in F3, for me, I could tell that he was incredibly talented, but he's good enough for F2 apparently. So, as I said, it's from Nick, Wakanda, MK, Anosia, Batboy, Yori, Karem, Javi, Alex, Stein, Yoda, Pepin, SMA, Milan, Ave, Hank, and PSV. Ave, Hank, and PSV did not set times. I believe that is because they were all involved in incidents. I don't think it was because they were stuck in the pits. But yeah, top 10 all separated by less than a second, so it's promising stuff here. Yeah, so from F3, Nick, Batboy, I think Stein, SMA, Milan, all guys that have raced in F3 and are proving their worth in F2. It can be a pretty big step up. It's obviously the next level, more intense racing, faster times, but I mean Nick especially. Really impressive stuff. Alex bigger fraud than Alexander Albon, his mom. Oh, Nodix, those are fighting words, man. Looks like we'll have, I mean, I hate to say it, I don't know if it's a curse or a good thing, but it does look like we have slightly overcast skies. We did have a rainy, not a rainy race, but Vietnam, the first race of the season in F3, was a rainy qualifying, and that proved interesting. I remember, who was it? It was one of the Haas's. I think it was Virus. Virus was a good 2 seconds faster than everyone else on a dry setup, which is pretty incredible. We are Team Firsty. All right. Cars go out on their formation lap. As we see, the predicted strategy is either soft to mediums or soft to hards. I would assume that most drivers will go soft to medium just because of the pace. As you ride along with Nick Verhar's pole sitter here in his Honda-powered Red Bull. I'm sure he's thrilled. And MK in the Ferrari. The two Haas's looked like they got promoted. Yeah, Wakanda for some reason. It's all the way down 16th. That's interesting. I wonder if that's because he disconnected or because of something else. You like this commentator? Oh, fantastic. I'm glad I can provide an enjoyable commentating experience. That's interesting. I wonder why he ended up in P16. And Yori, who I believe qualified 6th, is in 17th. Interesting. But again, Nick will try to emulate his fellow countryman and real-life Red Bull driver, Max Verstappen, winning here in Silverstone, not for the British Grand Prix, but for the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. That was the second race, and we've had a disqualification. Now, can I go to Race Director and see why? Incidents. No incidents to report, so I think I don't know why Hank got disqualified. That's very strange. Looks like Ave is on the mediums. That's an interesting choice from Ave there. Medium tire here, while literally the entirety of the field is on the softer red walled soft tire. And it looks like Hank was disqualified for, I saw him on the grid there, so maybe he was too far ahead of the pack. But I don't know what happened to Hank. As the cars line up on the grid, and we are awaiting those magical 5 red lights. A little bouncing from them here. As I think we're waiting for everyone to load in. We're preparing for, oh my god, are you serious? I think that's a different error than last time. Is the stream still up? Can you guys tell me if the stream is still up? Yeah, the stream's still up, so I can just go back in. Oh my lord. So the stream's still up. If one of the racers is in this, there's a glitch lobby. Yeah, I figured. I don't think it's on my end. I think it might be on Karem's end. So we get a restart here. Yeah, it looks like not really sure what happened there. Oh, and I'm curious if that means, will we have to do another qualification? Because, I mean, we can go back in the stream and see the order, and then we can do custom grids, so we can not have to go through another qualifying session. I feel like that makes sense to me. But if we need to go through qualifying again, that'll just make things even more interesting. It's been quite eventful so far. So yeah, we are just waiting on an invite. No other qualifying, they will do custom grid. Yep, okay. That's what I figured. As always with all things virtual, things do not always go to plan, but this seems to be a pretty easy fix. So we're just gonna wait on Karem. I believe Karem's gonna be making the lobby. Yep, okay, I just got an invite here, so let me go ahead and join that. So, it looks like we have 16 players in lobby, 15 drivers, so I think we're waiting on 2 more people, I believe. Maybe 1 more person now, I'm not really sure. But yeah, guys, we're just going to do custom grids, so we will set it up the way that, I don't know if we will do it the way Q3 ended or the way the race started, because I know Wakanda got demoted from P3 all the way down to P16. But I believe we are just waiting on 1 more person, if I remember correctly. Inside joke, Sam. That's funny. Crossing my fingers that we'll be able to get this underway shortly. I don't really know why we wouldn't be able to, but I think let's see. We have Anosia, we have PSV, we have Wakanda, we have Ave, we have NK, Nick, Milan, Stein, Bad Boy, Karam, Xavi, Yoda, Alex, Yori, Pepin, me, and Peter Hank. So, who is the last guy? It's SMA, I think, isn't it? I believe the alpha of Sem is the last person we are waiting on. How do you join the league? I believe you DM the league account, and then they'll ask for time trial times, and then based on those times, the admins decide on what league you'll be placed in. Since we are I think we are halfway through the season, I'm not sure if we are taking any more members, but I believe if Hot Lab Mode is still in the chat, which I think that he is, they run an F1 account that's fairly popular, and they're one of the creators of the league, so I think he can give you some more answers if he's still in the chat. Okay, yeah, it's a link. You don't have to DM the VRL account. Just go ahead into that link, fill out the forms, give them whatever they ask for, and then I guess you just wait on their decision. I think that, if I'm not mistaken, that Season 6 signups are already out. Or we're already considering Season 6 signups, so if you don't make it into Season 5, I highly encourage you to sign up for Season 6. We may or may not have, we will have, I know for a fact we'll have 2 leagues, or not 2 leagues, but 2 divisions next year. I'm not sure if we're doing F3 next year. That's a decision that the admins are going to have to come to. But I do encourage everyone that's interested to sign up. If you don't make it, you can at least see how you stack up against some of the best in this community, some of the most intense and dedicated guys. So I think that it's worth it to try out just for that. Season 6 signups aren't live yet. So yeah, Stealth, if you just want to keep an eye out for those when they do come out, I think you should definitely give it a try. And anyone else in the chat that's not, even if you're just a casual racer, I encourage you to sign up. We're always looking for people. Stealth, if you don't remember your racing times, AI level's okay, but it really doesn't tell us much. You could race against 110 AI and be terrible, as we begin our formation lap here. I would say go into time trial and get your times. I think Hot Lap Mode already answered that question, but go into time trial, get those times. Have as many time trial runs as you want to try to get the optimal time, and then send those over. Looks like Wakanda is going to be in second place now, so that's good to see. And we have Mr. Peter Hank back. He's no longer disqualified, although he did. No, that wasn't him. That was Yoda, I believe, who ran wide entering the village section. Yoda is on the interval. Actually, we don't need lap data on. If you guys want things like telemetry or lap data on, be sure to drop it in the chat. for the grid, it looks like that Yoda's the only one that elected for the medium tire. Of course, in P11, you do get a free choice of tire. Oh, no, Ave on the mediums as well, and so is PSV. He's in last place in the Williams, so he's got a pretty big task ahead of him. Alright, looks like all our racers are on the grid, just awaiting those fabled 5 red lights on this super short run into turn 1. As you can see, you can already see the 150 meter board right there, so they're only about 250 meters from turn 1. 1 red light, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights! And away we go for the British Grand Prix. Looks like a decent getaway from Nick. Looks like Wakanda's going to slide in right behind him. And Wakanda looks like he gets through into turn 1. Yes, he does. Fantastic move here from Wakanda. So really important to get a good start here as they head towards Village. A little bit of Constantinating up. And safety car. Well, I did say I wanted it to be an interesting race. And it looks like Anossia is going to get a 5-second time penalty for colliding with his teammate. That is not a good sign for the Haas boys. But, oh, that is tricky. Looks like Yori jumped both of the Haas's there. And no, PSV is out. Tough stuff there. Again, no replay feature, which is incredibly frustrating. I really wish they would add that. I guess it is multiplayer, so we heard that. But heading towards Village section, through the first sector, there was obviously a lot of traffic there. Bit of a traffic jam, actually. Almost came to a standstill, and I think that is where PSV Thai most likely lost a wheel. So, real unfortunate for him. Yeah, Matthias says first 10 seconds already a DNF in a safety car. That is one way to spice up a race, I suppose. We're just going to ride along with our leader Wakanda here for the safety car. Not much action, obviously, since they are just proceeding around at a fairly low speed. Anossia does pit here. I believe he probably had contact. He did have contact, but he probably had damage rather. Let's see if they replace his wing. Oh, never mind. It looks like it's a 5-second stop-go penalty. I don't know if that was a stop-go. I don't think technically you're allowed to do a stop-go penalty under safety car conditions. I remember that came up in the Italian Grand Prix because there was obviously a red flag. Lewis Hamilton had a stop-go penalty, but he couldn't serve it because it wasn't under green flag conditions. Drives AI 90 and finishes ahead of me. Drives 110. Yeah, Andre, I'd say that's legit. Well, 13 people in the stream. That's great to see, guys. I'm glad you're enjoying it and sticking around. For me, I think you could have 25 streamers at one point, or 25 viewers at one point, but consistently only get 6 or 7. To see that 13 number be popping up all the time, it shows that you guys are sticking around. And it's really good to see. And Karem is assessed a 5-second penalty for a collision with Alex Bomberg. Scenes here as the championship leader. Does not look like he has any damage. Let's check out Alex. That was an old penalty too, because they don't really look like they're near each other in the safety car. Let's see if the race director can tell us anymore. Let's go to incidents. So Alex had an exceeding track limits warning. MK had a warning for a collision with Enosia. PSV did retire due to terminal damage. And Enosia and Karem receive a 5-second penalty for severe collisions with Batboy and Alex Bomberg, respectively. Oh, Wakanda really getting up close and personal with that AMG GT safety car. What a beautiful machine that is. Look at them just weaving around. That's a beautiful thing, seeing all those cars weave around behind. And I hope the safety car's in this lap, because I think it looks like that the incident with the Williams has been cleared. But we will see. Yoda speaks first non-DNF. Andre, there's still 23 laps left. I think a lot can happen in 23 laps. But yes, as of now, he has not crashed out. And our leader, Wakanda, has received a 5-second penalty for a collision with Alex Bomberg. I don't really understand that, seeing how Alex is currently in P5 and Wakanda is in P1. I don't know how that could have happened, but it looks like it did. Oh my goodness. I think we need to go in the race director and have a look at what just happened. Poor Batboy. Batboy and Alex were involved in, I think, all those incidents that set off the safety car. And I don't know if these penalties are delayed and they're just coming in. But let's do a full review of this. Enosia gets a 5-second penalty for collision with Batboy. Krem, Xavi, Yori, and Wakanda all get penalties for colliding with Alex. Batboy gets a penalty for colliding with Xavi, who collided with Alex earlier, and Xavi and Yori get a penalty. So Xavi and Yori both have 10 seconds total of penalty times due to collisions with Batboy and Alex Bomberg. What the heck? I might have missed it, but it does look like we are under green flag conditions right now. Let's see, right on with Enosia. Dang, that's a fast corner there. Uh-oh. We're getting a little close to Maggots and Beckett's there, and I think that he pulled out. All of these can be removed. I don't think I can remove those, Andre. Because I'm not, like, the leader of the lobby. I do think Karem can do that, but as he is racing right now, I'm not sure. Let me see if I can remove those. Incidents. Yeah, I can't do anything about those penalties. As these guys all get exceeded track limits warning, I'm sure, through Mags and Beckett's. But yeah, I think Karem can take those penalties off as Milan heads into the pits for a new wing and new tires, it looks like. So he'll have a big recovery drive ahead of him. He puts on the hard tires. Now, I really like this for Milan, because if all goes to plan, he will not have to pit during this race. He had 4 laps under safety car the tires didn't really wear down at all. And so I think that this is the right decision here from Milan. But as we know, sometimes strategy decisions like these do not pay out, as Wakanda has already established a 1.7-second lead over Nick as he heads through Magnussen Beckett's. Now, Magnussen Beckett has claimed victim to lots of people today, as Bat Boy is going to be his next victim. And it looks like he's destined for the wall. Oh, he resets the track? Okay. He does end up resetting the track, so it's good to see from Bat Boy there. However, he is in P14 with his teammate right in front of him. DRS is now enabled, however, that does not help Nick Verhar as much, as he is 1.5 seconds back as he heads through the first corner through the village section. And he's got the Ferrari of MK hot on his tail, so if he doesn't get a move on as he locks up through village, if he doesn't get a move on Wakanda, I think that MK will be more than happy to snap him up on maybe the Wellington straight here, as it does look like he is getting closer with the DRS open. He does not get it, unfortunately. But I think he might want to have a second bite of the apple as he gets some really good runs from Brooklands. Down through the former start-finish straight, which is even shorter than the start-finish straight now. Imagine a start-finish straight going right into Cops and then Magnussen Beckett's. That would be crazy. As you see a lot of time penalties for multiple warnings. I believe that is multiple corner cutting warnings. As MK goes onto the grass here. Oh, jeez. Looks like a big snap of oversteer out of the grass. That is expected, obviously. Oh my goodness, he goes up the inside here. Is he going to make it stick? Nick around the outside, which turns it to the inside for this final chicane here through Club Corner. And it looks like MK is going to make the move stick. Yes, wow, fantastic racing there from the guys. Keeping it clean, squeaky clean. No touchies, nothing like that. Okay, so yeah, people will report those penalties to the stewards and they'll get removed. Stewards might have a big job to do today. A lot of math, a lot of removing penalties and figuring out where people end up. As Luke is gonna, or Nick, sorry, rather. I see Luke in his name and I saw that his name was Luke, but nope, it's Nick. He's gonna be looking to get that position back. Milan gets a time penalty for multiple corner cutting warnings as well. That might not necessarily be corner cutting, probably exceeding track limits, going off during a turn or something along those lines. But anyways. As we see that MK's in an interesting position here because he is extending his gap back to Nick, but Wakanda is extending his gap back to MK, so he's kind of in limbo here. He's pushing, and he's getting away from Nick, but he's not getting any closer to the driver in front. So it's a bit of a sticky situation. Let's go check on our midfield, guys. Oh wow, looks like it's a pretty close race. Oh no, that looks like Alex Bomberg into the wall. He is DNF'd. Oh no, and Anossia goes off at Club Corner. I'm glad I caught that. A DNF from Alex Bomberg. Safety car is out. Anossia gets a corner cutting warning for that off there at Club Corner. And my goodness, that was a hard collision for Alex Bomberg. Really unfortunate to see. He was getting along pretty good in this race actually, but ugh, that is unfortunate. And we have our second safety car, so I wonder if people are going to duck into the pits. Wakanda stays out. And this race somehow just got even more interesting. He's too glitchy. Yeah, I don't really know what happened there. It just looks like he lost it around club. Maybe put the gas in too early. As Batboy and Milan Kutstra both ducking into the pits here. As Milan Kutstra is actually going to jump Batboy, so certainly paid off for them. But they are almost a full minute back of the field. Due to the safety car, they may catch up in that time. As Wakanda ducks into the pits now. This is interesting because Wakanda could have ducked into the pits earlier as he passed the start-finish line. As looks like pretty much everyone is going to come in and take new tires. Now Wakanda built quite a gap back to MK there, almost 3 seconds as you see, but with them both taking pit stops at the same time. And it looks like he got held up there. I don't really know what that was, as Milan Kutstra gets disqualified for ignoring the yellow flag. That's interesting because he had just pitted. As MK and Nick both jumped Wakanda in the pits, I wonder if that 5-second penalty isn't a time penalty, but rather a stop-go penalty. Again, I don't think that type of penalty can be served under safety car conditions. But he is still in a podium position with 17 laps to go in this race. So we have 2 DNFs, 1 disqualification. What happened to Batboy? Let's go check. Oh my lord, look at this. Stewards are gonna have quite the time with this here. Batboy and Milan have both been disqualified for ignoring the yellow flag. I don't think I've ever seen that in this game. I don't know what would qualify as ignoring a yellow flag. I think that the game automatically limits your speed, doesn't it? That is interesting. I wonder if they pass someone. You think they can be removed? They all serve their 5-second penalties. So, since it was a stop-go penalty, I think we're gonna have to add 5 seconds. Or not add 5 seconds, but like take away 5 seconds to where they were finishing. So at the end of the race, I'll leave the results up for a long, like not a long time, but enough time so that we can go ahead and look at who should be in front of who. Yeah, really interesting stuff. Another 5-second penalty for Peter Hank for a collision with Coleman. I'm not sure if that would be removed. I'm sure the stewards will look at it. And the racers need to communicate with the stewards about these penalties because obviously, since we only have one angle from like the review or from me, I can only, unless the cars are together, I can only watch one car at a time, so incidents like that I can't really see. But I believe that was another glitch. We've seen that throughout this session. But I believe that those penalties will be removed. And then we can figure out this mess at the end of the race. So the top 3 has kind of just been MK, Nick, and Wakanda just switching off. Wakanda, of course, Nick being your pole sitter, Wakanda seemed to have won him right off the start and held the lead up until the first safety car, where MK jumped. And then he was jumped again for Nick Varhars during the second safety car period. I'm not Jamil. Yep. Sometimes the tires are a bit glitchy. I remember in Vietnam it said like someone did 35 laps on a pair of softs. Obviously that's not possible. But it looks like in terms of tire choices, pretty varied. It looks like the majority of the field is on the mediums. But we do see Pepin, Peter, and Ave are all on the hards. And I think they will have to make another pit stop. The guys on the mediums... That's interesting. The guys, these guys all fitted tires, so all these tires are new. I think that with tire management, you might be able to stretch medium 16 laps, especially if we get a few more laps from our safety car, so these guys can get temperature into their tires without causing wear. I do think that it will be possible to take them all the way. I think that Yoda, unfortunately, might have goofed a bit, because I don't think the soft is the right tire, as Nick and MK get a little racy there through that corner. But yeah, I think that the soft tire probably won't make it, and I think that if we get maybe 2 more laps of safety car conditions, then you can probably stretch the mediums. So it's interesting to see what the drivers choose, as this would typically be where the one-stop strategy would be open. So if we were under green flag conditions, cars would be stopping now. So yeah, the mediums can definitely make it. Now that's kind of our confirmation. Hards obviously you won't have a problem with, but I do think that Yoda will have to push pretty hard because he will have to make another pit stop. And it's going to be interesting to see, since the entire field stopped under safety car conditions, if we do end up getting a safety car at like lap 20 or something like that, then what tire they would choose. Because I would think that you would want fresh tires, but if half the you don't necessarily need fresh tires. So say half the field stops and half the field doesn't. The field that doesn't will probably be able to stretch those tires to the end. So Yoda might be playing the long game here, because if there is a safety car, say 8 laps from now, then he can save those. I'd say those soft tires are going to last around 10 laps. So if there's a safety car, he gets 3 laps under safety car conditions. Now all of a sudden he only has to make it, what, 10 laps, which is how far they make it. So I think that that Yoda might be playing the long game, as I see that the safety car will come in. MK is going to set the pace off the club corner here. He's going to probably most likely slow it all the way down and then accelerate. But we will see what he chooses to do with that. He could go right away. No, you're not allowed to pass the other drivers until you reach the start-finish line, which at Silverstone is right off this corner. As it looks like he's going to go now, and it looks like a decent getaway for him. Nick stays close as they head off the first corner down towards the village section. Personally, I know people are all about Maggots and Beckett's, but I am quite fond of the village section. I like the 2 double left-handers, a bit slower speed than the rest of the circuit. As we see MK just using a slight push of the overtake button there, just to get himself clear. From MK we have Nick, Wakanda, Stein. Yoda moves up 2 spots. Shavi, Yori, Pepin, Ande, Hank, Karen, and Anozia. I mean, that's a good start for Yoda. That's kind of exactly what he wanted. He wanted to push on these soft tires and just hope and pray for a safety car. His pace looks really good so far. He's only 3/10 back of Stein, who's in front of him, and he will get DRS right about now. Or not. Maybe that's not a DRS straight. Is that DRS? I think the lower thing straight's a DRS. Oh, because it's a safety car. Duh. There's no DRS after a safety car. Alright. If it's okay with you guys, I'm going to hide the tires now. Got to see what everyone was running. And other than Yoda, it doesn't look like we have many movers and shakers, although I think the most is right on the back of Karan here. Our championship leader in the lowly P11. Really unfortunate. Oh my goodness, that is Hank off through that section, and I think he's still alive. I think he has some pretty heavy damage, but I don't think that's going to bring out a safety car. And he spins it again. No, Hank. Okay, just back it up. Oh, it is going to be a DNF here for Hank. That's unfortunate. And the question, is that going to bring out a safety car? It's that his car is stopped at the beginning of the village section. So, I mean, that is pretty tricky. Let's ride along with Javi here. We haven't really, or Xavi rather. We haven't seen much of him this race. He's had a pretty quiet race. And the good news is that it's not going to bring out a safety car. Yoda gets a 3-second time penalty. I don't know if that would be appealed or not. I think the 5-second penalties for collisions are going to be appealed. I do not know if those corner cutting penalties are going to be appealed. But we will see. As now, if we have one more retirement, then everyone gets points. So that will be interesting to see. That would be a bit of a strange development as Stein locks up going to the club section. And we're going to get DRS here, so maybe Xavi can have a go. No DRS through the start for the straight. Look at these cars just absolutely whip it through that section. That's a fantastic angle. That is really great stuff there. Go through the Abbey section. They head down the Wellington Straight through the Brooklands complex. Through Brooklands and then Lafayette. And then Woodcut. Woodcut isn't really much of a corner at all. It's just that long, extended right-hander down towards the straight, towards Cops, which is just a high speed. Just stick it in with the wheel to the right and just hope and pray that car stays planted to the ground. Because trust me, I've spun through Cops plenty of times. Same with Maggots and Beckett's. If you get on the curbs too much, on the green curbing there, that can really get you. There's also dirt on the left side of Beckett's. And then Chapel, of course, finishes off that entire complex as, oh my goodness, Stein going around the outside of Yoda through all the way around the outside through Stowe. That is pretty crazy. Big lockup, but it looks like it is job done for now. Through the start for the straight, looks like he will get a go here. Yoda right on the back, but just does not look close enough through Abbey to get that done. Now through Farm, and then through the double left-hander of the village turn. Right on his back is Yoda, only about a quarter of a second separating them. Really great racing for these guys. At the front, nothing much has changed. They're all kind of in a DRS train. They're all getting DRS off each other, so they're not going to gain, except they will gain on the leader. As there's a yellow flag in section 2, I think that's just because people are kind of gathering out through Luffield and Brooklyn. I don't think that is because of any particular incident, although let's just go back and check through the field and see if there's any damage. And I don't believe there's any damage, so we're just going to keep racing here. That's what I know every fan wants to hear. Obviously gets a 3-second corner cutting penalty. So I think if everyone in the race gets a corner cutting penalty, technically it doesn't like do anything. Like the plus 3 seconds for everyone will kind of counteract each other. So I think we might be okay in that regard. That is if everyone gets a penalty, which is probably pretty unlikely. But honestly, with F1 2020, you never really know. So we'll wait and see how that turns out. But what the stewards have to deal with that eventually. I'm just worried about what's going on track, and as of now, not much is going on. People are just kind of holding station. top 3 is really showing their class here. Only about a 4-second gap to Yoda's peak, who's got Xavi hot on his tail with DRS open. Who I believe was at the rear end, has moved up to P8, so a decent recovery drive for him. I'm sure he's not really the start of the race did not go how he expected, but solid recovery drive into 8th place as of now. He's got championship leader coming in front of him, and then Yuri a bit farther up the road, who is looking to make a move on Xavi around the outside. DRS open through the Wellington Straight, and it looks like he gets it done, but Xavi is not going to let that spot go easily. Xavi's going to go around the outside in Brooklyn's, but nothing doing there, and the job is done for Yuri. Pretty great move there, around the outside through on the straight. Good stuff there from Yuri, but Xavi's not done. Xavi's hot in his rearview mirrors. Through Magnussen, Beckinson. I just crossed my fingers that he doesn't try anything through Magnussen, Beckinson, because that would be a disaster. As he rides, I think these 3-second time penalties are justified, because we did see Xavi take up a lot of curb and even a bit of grass on the exit of Cops. Excuse me, not Cops, Chapel. That corner is called Ethan, you dummy. And it looks like the front 3 are kind of getting into it now. You see Nick will ride on board with him. He's chasing MK. Wakanda is behind Nick. Let's ride along with Wakanda here as we head down the straight. Oh my goodness, big lockup for Nick Verhars. Oh my lord, that was pretty massive. Again, it's hard when the lockups happen when they're simultaneously on the brakes and turning. The wheels obviously just lock up and you get a big old skid. Really hard to get traction. That is just such a terrifying turn. You've got pedal to the metal, flat out, and let's follow these guys. Let's just keep right along with the Honda, because this is a thing of beauty here. He just glides the car so effortlessly through these corners. And they are both going to have DRS and MK. Looks like Nick is actually getting pretty darn close here. Up the inside. Oh, what a move that would be. He's going to have to wait till the car chicane and glove the corner. Big lock up in the front left. Staying behind. 10 seconds left. Not left, excuse me. 10 seconds back to MK. As they just absolutely fly through Abby. Well, these guys are just not giving up anything. Gets really close there through the entrance of Farm, and then they exit through the village section. But it just really doesn't look like Luke can get a move done. And now Wakanda is on Luke's butt. Oh my lord. Through Brooklyn to now Luffield. Around the outside. Let's see if he can keep his foot in it. He cannot. He's going to have to back out of that one. Probably a good idea. That was headed towards disaster. They head towards the stadium, past the original start-finish straight, as they fly through Cops. Oh, taking up a lot of grass there. I think that's what we've seen a lot of racers do, and I think that's why you're seeing all these 3-second penalties. Nick is mega close through Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel. He will not be able to be close enough to get a move done. Maybe, what's the hanger straight saying? This guy's DRS wide open, he's got to overtake. Closing, and not gonna happen this time around. MK does a good job of not really driving defensively, he's not blocking, he's just kind of racing his race, and he's paying off here for them. As we see Yoda. Yoda's down to P10. I believe that's because those soft tires are probably falling off a cliff, and I hope he doesn't crash. Because I know how difficult it is to race around this track with one tire. I will tell you, it is damn near impossible. Yeah, I'll take a quick. I don't really want to miss any action, but yeah, we can have a look at these penalties. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Wait, no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 24 penalties. That's pretty bonkers. And Ave gets another